Hayato back again. Today we're going to build a city of 240,000 people, all of which are sick. Okay, let's get started, shall we? Previously, we created a city of 100,000, which were all sick, and we experimented whether the city would function properly. Well, it turned out that 6,000 ambulances were dispatched to the city, causes a nightmare traffic jam. In the end, it didn't function well at all. What we're going to do this time is build a city that can accommodate the thousands of ambulances and see how that plays out. Okay, let's start creating this city from scratch. We'll start by making this island where the hospital will go. We created the area around here, so we're ready to watch and see how it develops. We see the buildings are starting to come up real quick. We can see that most of the buildings are going up along this main street. The current population was practically zero. But now it's gradually growing already, hitting 200. Wow, those buildings are really going up. It's a compact location, so a lot of tall apartment-type buildings are being created. Our target is to build a population of 100,000 to start. They have no idea that they'll be drinking toxic wastewater soon. What a bunch of suckers. The city has very low taxes, but you know what? I think I'll make it 1%. No one pays more than that. It's the least I can do to these poor souls. Come on now, folks. Come to our wonderful city. Man, this is a dream city or what? Looks like people are pouring into the city. Who wouldn't want to live here, huh? Well, gradually the city grew and people started moving into the city. We finally did it! The city has been completed. I was planning on a population of approximately 100,000, but before I realized it, it grew to 240,000. Actually, this makes it even more interesting. Let's check out the new city, shall we? As you can observe, it's quite a vibrant and sprawling city. Over here you got the business area and the shopping district over there. All that's needed for a thriving city. And over here, farther away across the river, more dwellings. It's a city of over 240,000, which accounts for all these buildings. It looks like this when we look at the city from overhead. Okay, now that the city is built, we'll see if this large city can survive and function if all the residents get sick. And to do that, we'll have to have all the residents drink toxic wastewater. I know, an awful thing to do. The water is located here at the lower section of the river. The drinking water is pumped up from here. As for the water, it's all just dumped into the ocean over here. As you can see, the water is just dumped here, so the water is brown and murky. Let's clean this toxic dump by filtering it through the stomach of the residents. Just kidding. Sort of. We'll shut off the drinking water and place them over here in the ocean and pump it up into the city's drinking water. The water is being sucked up so fast that the sand below is becoming visible. At this rate, all the toxic water will disappear. But it took years for the city of 240,000 to grow, and this toxic brew has spread far and wide. It won't go away so easily. How many stomachs will we need to clean up this mess? The residents of the city have yet to notice any difference in their health. I wonder if the people will notice. Like, maybe there's some weird smell. Maybe they won't even suspect anything. Yes, we finally did it! The entire city is sick! That means all 240,000 people in this city here are all sick. Pretty incredible. I mean, just imagine it in real life. And so, we leave things as is. Well, unfortunately, they will all die. So, let's get the hospital started up, shall we? As planned, I've already prepared a hospital island nearby. The one cluster of hospitals contains 10 hospitals, and we have 20 of these clusters. That means we have 200 hospitals ready to take on all the sick residents of the city. And from each of these hospitals, 30 ambulances can be dispatched, which means 6,000 ambulances will be pouring to the city to pick up patients. And how is this all set up, you ask? Well, all the ambulances start heading into the city all at once. Obviously, there's going to be a huge traffic pileup, right? We made that mistake the last go-around, so this time, I created a special road for each hospital. That means we have 20 roads leading into the city. This way, the 6,000 ambulances can head into each section of the city to pick up patients without the roads getting all jammed up. As for the returning ambulances, we'll use the highway on the outskirts of the city. This will take them down this narrow road back to the hospital, drop them off, and then head back into the town. Right now, the lights are all out, so we'll connect the main electric terminal and we're set to go. Alright folks, the water and electricity have been turned on and the ambulances are on their way. Get a move on, boys! There are patients waiting. Here they come. Got plenty of room. Whoa, check it out! 6,000 ambulances on the move! Awesome! Really an amazing sight, I gotta say. Whoa! Never seen such a sight before. I have to say, things are moving pretty smoothly. The ambulances are using the 20 direct access roads to reach the city. Quite a sight, folks! Population was 240,000 not so long ago, and now it's down to 210,000 or so. This is spectacular! Feels good just watching. With this many cars pouring into the city, it's definitely going to cause a traffic jam. Are we good? Really amazing! Oh yeah, by the way, this city has a special structure. What kind of special structure, you ask? Have you noticed the color of the roads? It's not the usual black, but more like orange. I'm sure you all sort of noticed. Well, this orangish road can only be used by authorized vehicles like ambulances and police cars, and also fire engines. And if you look closer, you can see that the roads in the town also have these special lanes just for such vehicles. Almost all the main roads into town have these special lanes, which means even if 6,000 ambulances pour into the city, it won't cause a major pileup, at least on paper. Not 100% sure, but it'll probably go smoothly. Fingers crossed. Yeah, I know. Can the city really handle all these ambulances all at once? Should be good to go, at least in theory. Let's check it out. Seems to be moving quite smoothly. No major disruptions so far. We can assess that about 70 to 80% of the traffic consists of ambulances. So far, so good. I gotta say, it's turning out pretty nicely. Knock on wood. Seems to be a bit of trouble with the city entrance areas, but all in all, okay. These ambulances are crossing the long bridge leading into the city. Oh yeah, the population. Whoa, down to 180,000 or so. I don't know though. Seems like the city is somehow recovering, don't you think? And so, how's it all coming along? Seems all the ambulances are out in the city. Let's take a look at the city itself and see how they're faring. Let's fast forward a bit here. First, we'll check the city from out way overhead. Get an overall view of things. Ah, the ambulances are having a bit of trouble in the city. Figured as much. I suppose you can't avoid getting caught up in these intersections. Oh, and these icons. First they were icons indicating they were sick, but gradually they turned to death icons. Yikes. Maybe I miscalculated a bit, huh? Come on, ambulances, get going. There are lives at stake. The city was a bit bigger than I expected, and the ambulances can't quite reach residential areas. Those ambulances that were the first out should be coming back around now. They should be coming back on this road. Yeah, there they are. A bunch of them are making their way back. Unlike the roads leading into the city, the way back only has this narrow road. Just hope there won't be a huge congestion on the way back. At this rate, the ambulances will never get to the hospital. We're starting to see some changes here. A lot of people are moving out of the city because they can't get to the hospital, and the neighborhood is deteriorating before their eyes. This part of town has become a complete ghost town. Although I made plans, we were unable to make good use of the hospital island. The conclusion is that it's not really possible to send 6,000 ambulances into the city. You just can't avoid causing a major traffic congestion. And so, what did we find out about this little project? Well, if you have a city of 250,000 people and you make them all sick, well, the city won't function at all. It would just collapse. Maybe it'd be better not to concentrate the hospitals in one location and have them go back and forth from there. I think it'd be far wiser to place them throughout the city for easy access. If we do that, we may get a far better result. Well, I figured we'd give it a try and see how it worked out, but unfortunately the result was dismal. Is it flowing smoothly? Can we save the city? That's a lot of ambulances coming back. Man, 6,000 ambulances are coming back to the hospital island. Whoa, hold on a second. The population, it's dwindled down to 2,700. What happened? What's going on here? We tried another method. It made it a two-way road and experimented that way. The last go-around it only let out. We saw that it got congestion coming back, so we'll try it as a two-way road. Check out the upper right corner of the screen, folks. The population was 120,000, but at a certain point, it dropped to 10,000. So about 100,000 disappeared, huh? Huh. I thought there were like 140,000. And so, the population of the city dropped a bit over 3,000. There's really nothing left of it. But it looks like the ambulances are still busy rushing around. There are about 3,000 ambulances, more than the population actually. As for the center of the city, a huge traffic jam is underway. Oh boy, how do things turn out this way? If we look at the city graph, this is how it looks. 240,000 people, down to this. Just terrible. Worse than a Bitcoin collapse. That's it for today's episode. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe.